Hi guys, welcome to another tutorial on detailing for beginners. So today we're going to look at glazing. We do a lot of structural glazing in the office, so we're going to look at the basic concepts of this. So first of all, I'm going to draw a simple double glazed unit. So that's a simple double glazed unit. We've got a 10mm outer pane, a 12mm cavity, and a 6mm inner pane. Okay, now the most basic way for a bit of double glazing to be installed is to sit in a channel. So I'm just going to draw a very basic 50 by 50 aluminium channel 3mm thick. Now the way this gets put in is that imagine this is a section. The glass will sit on something called a setting block, which is a bit of a hard plastic. So I'm just going to draw that indicatively here. And then once that's done, the glass will be siliconed in at the sides. That's it, quite straightforward. Now, here is where the problem starts. So imagine this is a section. What you can't do is have that channel carry on around all sides of that glass because you'll never get it in and out. So let's just flip this. Now, so that looks like a whole section. So you can see if that channel were to carry on all the way around the glass, it just can't get in and out. And that's one of the main issues to deal with when you're working with glazing is how do you get the glass in and out in the first place. So there's a couple ways of doing it. In fact, there are many ways, but let's just have a look at a couple here. So let's draw a simplified version of the glazing. So what we're doing here is we're making a much wider channel. So we're looking at something called shuffle glazing. So you have your piece of glass, you tilt it, you put it in as high as it will go. Once it's up there, then you can rotate it in. And you can see this glass actually clips that bottom channel. So you might also need a channel which is deeper. So then you can move the glass further up. And then when you rotate it, it should clear the bottom channel. And then you lower it down onto that setting block. And then you fill in this gap here with something called a bead, which might also be aluminium. And then you just silicon up against the glass. And that looks fine. It's quite nice, quite neat. Your external finishes can then line up with your channel to give you that kind of seamless look. Another way of doing this is to, let's just copy this across. Okay. So rather than use channels, what we can do is use a couple of angles. Let's just change this. So with this, you just install an angle very simply. The glass can be offered up straight in, very, very easy. You would probably have an unequal angle for your first angle. Let's make that a bit longer. Second angle comes in, goes up, clamps the glass, and then you fix the two angles together and silicon up against the glass. Yeah, two ways of doing it. There are so many ways, but the main issue you need to think about when working with glazing is how do you get it in and out.